YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about Washington Commanders Day 7 of training camp. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure to go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow on my social media links down below in the description, and Carson Juan Gotti Talking Sports merch. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Louis. I'm about to fuck this joint up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. When I hop in the booth, they fuck with my sound. Put that shit on the scale, we taxing pound for pound. Nigga keep this and put them in the ground. My shit in your ear and tell me how it sound. A nigga too smart can catch me out of bounds. Let's go. That bitch got cooked like some chicken. And he lying, he not rapping what he living. Yeah, that's my cousin, but this shit a business. Work that bitch out just like we doing fitness.
So I have some news for you guys. So tomorrow I will be airing a new show called In Between Enemy Lines that will be featuring NFC East opponent / rivals content creators. And first up on the In Between Enemy Lines will be Eagles content creator Philly 500, aka King Damebat. That is airing tomorrow at 4 p.m. live on the channel. So make sure you guys stop by there tomorrow to see me and Philly 500 talk about our respective teams, and let's see what he believes about Carson Wentz, and let's see if he's on the Jalen Hurts hype train, and much more. So again, I will be going live tomorrow on the channel In Between Enemy Lines with Philly 500 at 4 p.m. So make sure you guys come through for that. Now, let's get into our recap officially. So, as you guys know, second day of pads. Shout out to Dax Mill as always for the wonderful tweets, because he is our eyes and ears, because I'm not at training camp. So, the first thing that he said today was, looks like Curtis Samuel is in pads. That's a wonderful sign. That is really, really good to see, because a lot of people, you know, they were up and screaming about Curtis Samuel not being there, not practicing on the side field. But again, we're just going to take the day-by-day approach. We're going to go to the plan, follow the plan that they have set for Curtis Samuel, and it looks like he practiced today, so that's a good sign. Again, day-by-day approach for me, okay? Moving on to the next tweet from Zach Selsby. He says Brian Robinson motions out before making a catch. So, you know, Brian Robinson's a guy that we believe could be that bulldozing back behind Antonio Gibson, but he can also pass catch, and that's really, really good to have a dual threat running back that can do, you know, the best of both worlds. So moving on to the next tweet, Zach Selsby says, talked to Curtis Hodges yesterday, said he's trying to soak up as much information as possible from players like Logan Thomas and John Bates. Hodges has popped up a lot in camp so far and could be a guy who sneaks onto the 50-man roster. So yeah, honestly, I said I don't have Curtis Hodges making the 53-man roster, but he may be a guy that could possibly sneak up and make this roster, because he's been having a really, really strong camp. And again, although we talk about, you know, John Bates and Cole Turner and all those guys in the absence of Logan Thomas to start the season, we may honestly keep another tight end around, and it possibly could be Curtis Hodges or maybe even Sammy Reyes. I think those two guys are going to be the ones that's fighting for that last tight end spot, at least to start the season. I'm really, really excited to see what Sammy Reyes can be. Again, I kind of wrote off Curtis Hodges, but he has been having a really, really strong camp, so I may need to start paying close attention to him because he's been really, really solid. And again, he could be a guy that could sneak off or sneak onto the 50-man roster, I should say. So Zach Sully says, a nice grab here by Samuel. Doesn't look bothered by any injuries so far. His usage in team drills would be a thing to keep an eye on today. So it's good to see that he's moving and he's looking like Curtis Samuel of old. And again, day-by-day approach, ladies and gentlemen. That's at least how I'm handling it. I know some guys are already concerned, and what you have all right to be, because this guy has missed all of last year for real with an injury, and then this year it's kind of popping back up. Although it's not a growing injury, it's some type of injury, and you are alarmed by it. So I definitely would say keep your eye on it, but take a day-by-day approach. At least that's how I'm taking it, and if you ask for my advice, that's what I would give to you. So moving on to the next tweet, Zach Sully says, one-on-ones are up. William Jackson III broke up a pass to McLaurin. Benjamin St. Jude's got the better of Jahan Dotson. So again, as we know, Benjamin St. Juste has really been, like, I wouldn't say the only guy, but if Jahan Dotson was having some competition, I would say it was Benjamin St. Juste that gives him the better of it. And again, we know how good Benjamin St. Juste can be if he just stays healthy. So shout out to BSJ and William Jackson III getting the incomplete passes on McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. So moving on to the next note, Dotson had a really nice grab while working against William Jackson III. Had to reach a little bit behind him for the throw, but hauled it in before falling to the ground. So shout out to Jahan Dotson. Them great hands that they talked about pre-draft is continuing to put on a show in training camp. And again, I'm really, really excited. And I need my man Carson Wentz to get a little bit more accurate. But again, you know, the more he works on it, I'm sure it'll get better. But just great grab by Jahan Dotson, man, and great athleticism and great, you know, for his size, he has a great window that he can go up and get, you know, passes that may be too high or too low and stuff like that. So he has a great window for his size. So moving on to the next tweet, Dax Mill makes a catch from Heineke in 7-on-7s. He had one during one-on-one drills too. The former 7th round pick is quietly putting together a solid string of practices. Like I told you guys, a lot of people think you know, Alex Erickson is going to be the last wide receiver spot, or even Jaquan Ezra. I personally think it's Dax Mill, you know, just because of what he had already shown as a receiver. And now he's going to have to show what he can do as a special teams guy. But I don't think that's too much of a hard task, because I don't think Ron Rivera is looking for an explosive return man. I think he's looking for someone that's going to be safe and going to be able to catch the punts and catch the kickoffs. And that's all I'm looking for too. So I hope Dax Mill makes his roster, and I have him making that last 6 spot. Okay, moving on. Really nice PBU from Danny Johnson while working against Alex Erickson. Heineke was the QB on the play. Now, Danny Johnson's another guy that I really want to make this roster. He's a slot guy that I really feel like he deserves to have his chance. You know, obviously we know Benjamin St. Juste is going to be that starting slot more likely than not, but Danny Johnson's another guy that I would love to keep around because he can be a really, really nice depth guy. And at some times last year when he stepped in, especially that Packers game, I always go back to that game because that was the one that impressed me the most by Danny Johnson. He's filled in well, stepped in the slot, and he was covering guys like Devontae Adams, Allen Lazard, Marquise Valdez-Scantling during that whole time, and he was holding his own. So shout out to Danny Johnson. Moving on, Wentz opens up 11-on-11s with the pass to Terry McLaurin, who was wide open for about 15-yard gain. So shout out to Terry for getting open, you know, beating the defense, and Carson Wentz for spotting him. Wentz ended 11-on-11, completing all 4 of his passes, 1 to Terry and 3 to the running backs. So it looks like Carson Wentz has had a really, really solid day. Really nice effort from Holcomb to get a tip pass on Wentz. So Cole Holcomb is a guy that stepped to the podium yesterday, and they asked him about how does he feel about being the Mike linebacker now. And he said he played a little bit of it last year, so he's really comfortable and he's really excited for that role. And me personally, I'm excited to see what Cole Holcomb could do as a middle linebacker. Moving on, Curtis Samuel gets targeted on back-to-back plays and makes both catches. Got a little contact on both plays and looks fine. So again, that is a really, really nice sign to hear that Curtis Samuel is catching and he's you know, he's taking contact and he's popping up right fine. Again, they're going according to the plan. You know, their day-by-day approach. You know, now tomorrow's going to be a big day to see how Curtis Samuel feels. Is he going to be sore? Is he going to be, you know, any tightness or anything tomorrow? You know, and that's what Ron Rivera's biggest thing is. It's always how do they feel the day after. So tomorrow's going to be a big day for Curtis Samuel to see if he can follow up tomorrow with another practice, or is the plan a practice one day, you know, slow the next day, so, you know, side field the next day, or recovery the next day, and then, you know, practice the following day, and on and off and on and off. Who knows the actual plan, but we'll stay and see tomorrow. So moving on, nice throw and catch from Wentz to Dotson. QBs has looked pretty sharp in the second half of practice. Already, and the last tweet of the day is coming from Ethan Cadeau. He says 11-on-11s, Carson Wentz back-to-back completions in the middle of the field to Jahan Dotson and Cole Turner. The rookie tight end has flashed as a pass catcher throughout camp. And again, that's what we knew since when we drafted Cole Turner out of Nevada. He was going to be that pass-catching tight end for us, that 6'6", big body guy that can stretch the field just like Logan Thomas. And he's going to be that guy, again, that I personally think is going to have to step up in the absence of Logan Thomas to start the season, and he's going to have a huge role. You know, and imagine when both of these guys get on the field together, and then you sprinkle in a little bit of John Bates, because who is the guy that can do it both, pass catching and blocking. So I'm really excited about our tight end room once we get fully healthy, and even the guys that are on the bubble, like the Samus Reyes and the Curtis Hodges. The tight end room is quickly growing to be something interesting to watch throughout training camp and the preseason. So, yeah, man, there you have it. Let me just think about this video in the comment section down below. Day 7 of training camp is wrapped up. Day 2 of pads. Let me know some standouts that you guys have been peeping throughout the first week of training camp. Let me just think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Comment, like, subscribe. Hell to Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. And don't forget, tomorrow I will be going live in between enemy lines on the channel at 4 p.m. with Philly 500. So thank you so much for the support, and see you guys tomorrow. It's me, boy Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped.